With boy band good looks, dazzling blue eyes, and the body of an Olympic swimmer, Dean Unglert was an obvious favorite on The Bachelorette. It's no surprise that he made it to the final four of Rachel Lindsay's season before his hometown heartbreak so close to the end. It's also no surprise that Unglert didn't stop being a fan favorite when Rachel sent him packing earlier this month. People genuinely like him because he's charming and lovable. So much so, in fact, that the Bachelorette's Men Tell All special reportedly made it clear that Dean is a top choice to be the next Bachelor. No, this isn't another case of Dean Unglert adorably revealing the winner of Rachel's season in an interview. Obviously, there's more of The Bachelorette to come before we officially know who won Rachel Lindsay's heart and hand and became her fiance. But, if you're following The Bachelorette spoilers, you already know. Yesterday, we talked about how Dean was talking about how Peter Krause would make a fantastic bachelor for The Bachelor's 22nd season. And Dean is right, Peter Krause is ludicrously good-looking, and honestly we think that Rachel Lindsay should choose him. Dean might be a little biased, though, he and Peter were practically joined at the hip all season long. They're besties. Life and Style reports that a source from the Men Tell All taping reported on what's been going on. And it was clear from audience reactions and the way that people were treated that Dean Unglert is the favorite to be the Bachelor. Dean ended up receiving the most applause from the audience. Well, of course he did. We want to clap just when we see pictures of him. It was obvious he was the crowd's favorite. Many of the girls were fawning over him. He would make a great Bachelor. Okay, so, clearly that source has an opinion. Don't we all? So, to a degree, we're going to have to wait for Men Tell All to air. But we wouldn't be surprised if they described things exactly how they happened. Additionally, Dean was apparently the only one allowed to sit next to Rachel Lindsay. Their chemistry seemed pretty natural. It wasn't awkward to look at them together. Well, we knew that from The Bachelorette, but we're glad that it's still the case. They were kind of just talking how exes talk. I've got some questions and I'm wondering what the reasons were behind your actions, and that was it. That's super healthy, right? We will admit that the traits that make Dean so desirable don't necessarily make him an ideal candidate for The Bachelor. Sure, he's very handsome. He's 26 years old, 6'2", and has a perfect body with just enough quirky tattoos to make him not look like just another model. And he is, in fact, a startup recruiter, with his cutting-edge and lucrative sounding while also vague. But some have suggested that he's too young to star on The Bachelor. They're wrong, but they argue that The Bachelor needs to be someone who's at least a few years older. We don't think so. Sometimes shows need a young, fresh face. And Dean is just so popular and well-liked, you know? But we should be clear that just because Rachel Lindsay and audience members like Dean doesn't mean that showrunners are going to pick him. Though we can bet that they're paying attention. We won't know who gets to star on The Bachelor for a while, but Dean would be an inspired choice. In the meantime, though, you won't have to rely on social media to follow Dean. We can all watch Dean Unglert and his radiant charm on Bachelor in Paradise, which premieres on August 14th. For that matter, spoiler alert, we can watch Peter Krause on Bachelor in Paradise, too. That hasn't been announced, but Peter was spotted down there during Bachelor in Paradise's big dramatic shutdown this summer. Dean and Peter will be great on that show, especially with their established dynamic. And either one of them would make a fantastic star for The Bachelor.